This is Deb Helfrich, hashtag RedheadedSheHulk, and doing a lot of great craziness with the hair. So we're just getting started. There's going to be a whole day of, well, I think we're going to delete this. Well, no. I'm tired of this constant pressure from y'all for the brevity. Life is about, let's see if we can get a good angle that there's not so many passersby. There's a nice, I gotta switch all of that. Yeah. 1 minute for me to be like the whole team of production that I don't have. Mental fitness. What mental fitness is, it's a philosophical way of thinking that really emphasizes the concept of validity. We're all about right and wrong. We're all about fact and fiction. We're all about real news and fake news. All those dichotomies are actually perspectives. What philosophy works to do, lineages of hundreds of years of this tradition, is when you have a very complex world with a great deal of data, which is the world we live in, you're looking for validity. And how you find validity is you take things that you know, you've experienced, you have lived to be true, and you line them up and see if together they make sense. It's a little more complex than that, but that's a good enough way to think about it. The classic thing is Socrates is a man. I think this is all men are philosophers, therefore Socrates is a philosopher. So I wanted to play with that one. I gave you a poor middle construct. All men are philosophers, or all philosophers are men. This is the kind of thing where at a certain point in history that may have been very true. But as of the RedheadedSheHulk, the wise feminine philosophers are about to take center stage. And quite literally center stage. I don't know how good the camera is, but why not? You can see. Right over there, banner. Carnegie Mellon. Drama. So, 24 emails to various philosophy professors, biomechanical engineers, psychologists, biologists, graduate advisors, undergraduate, media relations, alumni, development. What does it take? As an independent scholar, I am certain that I have a valid theory of human energy, potential, and well-being based on the philosophical hypothesis I'm the originator of bioelectricity, bio-electricity. Now, upsets me I can't hashtag that. Poor design on the part of the technical team. I mean, I get the concept, but hyphens is a pretty special thing when it comes to words. And in my lexicon of hashtag wellbeing philosophy, hyphenating words is a measure of adding precision, a measure of adding complexity, quite necessary. So there we go. This got back into a pretty good situation. I think we've got the corridor back, which we want to. I mean, it is not even 9 a.m. on a Sunday. The corridor will start having traffic. So we will see what we can do here. Just keep me in the frame to the extent somebody does. Okay. Definitely worth deleting. We'll get started again. And I would like to see if you can see the drama. Can you see the drama? Do you feel the drama? Do you sense the drama? Good job, C. You know, there's just so much I need to talk about. And there are such lacks in my life of people to talk to. Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? Go to debhelfrich.squarespace.com to donate, to keep me alive. It shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be like this. But my problem is most definitely, we were talking about mental fitness, not in my brain. My problem is being the redhead in the coal mine of the rampant toxicity of the US of Hypocrisy. Now, predominantly, I do react to the actual physical, scientifically verified excess of carbon monoxide in our atmosphere. That is something that, at the core, I am willing to be the first human to stand on stage that I know of and shout, I am dying of global warming. Let me put it to you briefly. Carbon monoxide is not just a problem out in an atmosphere, atmospheres away. The near end air that you breathe, and here you're going to hear the sound. There are the landscaping appliances of mass destruction on this campus. Now, first thing I gotta say, I have a heart for the men. I've only seen men on the landscaping crew. Who I understand we can't go back to manual rakes, but these leaf blowers are insanity. The amount of carbon monoxide, exhaust and fumes that they produce to move leaves around, the amount of auditory dysfunction, that the level of decibels, the guys do get to sometimes, I don't know that it's even a rule or a health and safety practice, but sometimes they get to wear Boses, noise reducing headsets, but that does not do anything for their nose, for the amount of, and those things are poisonous. I mean, leaf blowers are my fire-eating dragons. I'm sorry, but those things do my head in. And they're doing everyone's head in. This is where I call it enviro-mental. See, I get going. It's just a little setup, a little this, that, the other thing. And I'm going to have to learn to be able to continue with distractions. But the reason the distractions are, that was everything. But we've done enough recording for you to understand how much my eyes dart around. This is an autonomic thing. I'm trying to get in the camera and I don't have, ergonomic assistance to get it at the right level, so you can't see this, but we're working on it. If somebody would help me have a home, I can get back to proper health maintenance. know I'm going to end up being able to say, I've lost 200 pounds. That in and of itself is worth investing in. It is worth somebody going, oh yeah, sure, let's actually do this. Because if I get the ebook down on cannabis and weight loss, tuning forks and weight loss, static trance dancing and weight loss, goddamn landscaping vehicles of mass destruction. Oh, dear me, oh my. And he's coming this way. No question. How long do I keep shouting at you? It's a big ass field. But hopefully this distracts you. Actually, hopefully this is a great experiment. Because I want you to understand what somebody who never had the option of becoming highly socialized. It didn't happen in my very earliest days correctly, for whatever reason, to which there was no intention, the neglect. I have nothing to say but that it happened, right? There's no thing I need to have no bone to pick. But I need to keep stating constantly that my entire community of origin thoroughly neglected me. I was fed, overfed. But beyond that, when it comes to my actual mental development, I was in charge and there was no inputs. The books, I chose the books to read, lots and lots of books, definitely a lot of screens. Big message. There's a whole entire bit, probably just a 18-minute segment about really what my life talks about as far as the impact of screens. Because the reason I'm all up into dialing up the famous people and asking them to write me a check is simply because in very real ways, for many years of my life, the only human contact I had was via screens. Because in that situation, as the environmental overwhelm, the really scientifically valid, come here, Z, just come closer. Just to keep the girl safe. This is such a great lie. Imagine working with those pieces of equipment. Imagine what it's doing to him. Look at what it's doing to us. And this is a riding leaf blower. What he's doing is blowing the remnants of the mowing off of the sidewalk. Blowing. It is a riding leaf blower. He's not carrying this thing around a backpack. I think the backpacks are worse. Listen to the sound of this thing. On a Sunday, on an empty campus, on a national holiday. The vibration is excruciating. That is a riding, he stands on it, piece of equipment, and All he did. Excuse me. Come here, sweetie. All he did was blow leaves. Incroyable. It is. Now, the exhaust. The exhaust is wafted in. Let me just give you that little pathway. Just blowing the remnants of the grass cutting off of the pathway. There has got to be a less destructive appliance. That's all I'm saying. Hello.
Your dog's very cute.
Thank you very much. Have a good tennis game. You playing tennis?
Yeah, I play tennis.
I was like, what is? I couldn't tell when you were walking forward. But you got like little handle sticks. Or is it like covers for your handle? What do you call those?
It's just so that if it rains.
If it rains or something, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of cute, but I mean, I couldn't figure out what it was, like seeing it the opposite way. So, have a good game of tennis.
Thanks.
So, we are back for a while. You got to come back slightly this way, and it's really great. This is really great. So you see, a couple things. Dad had overwhelmed Zanzi so much, she was like not even interested in barking. It's the perfect point to what my life is like. Things that you are completely unaware of hijack my entire ability to participate in the administrivia, the constant demands of the US of Hypocrisy that you buy this, do that, follow these rules, send this resume here. Not when you are being constantly exposed to environmental sensory inputs that do that. Do that. And the funny thing is he stores this appliance over in the little nook where my musicians, my live musicians, my guitarist and violinist, and I do claim them. And I think in some ways, you know, I am their prototypical audience member. The last 2-3 times we've bumped into each other. So, but I don't have permission to mention them by name and haven't really gotten full onto the introductions because, you know, they come on campus to you know, jam and play some music, and so I haven't wanted to be too chatty. Hello. Met a great new friend yesterday, a third-year programmer from Thailand. So it seems like he, I presume, we didn't actually ask this, but he wanted to play with Zanzi, and she was not okay with that. Well, we tried for a long time, and he and I talked for at least an hour. And about many things. Really cool conversation. And that has buoyed me completely. That being on a college campus is right for me. That, you know, being on a retirement island, wrong demographic as far as world evolving energy. The energy, right? I think not saying anything about any other dimension of it but the energy. And So he was on a what I would call a skateboard, but what he then enlightened me is a surfboard, skateboard. And now I've forgotten the terminology of it because immediately, like I don't quite, I did actually after a while realize the difference in the plane. So the surf skating board is a bit wider, and where it's still got the dynamics of the flexibility, but the actual board you stand on, different, concave, convex. Well, we kind of immediately started talking about the one wheel. We had a long conversation about, I mean, he's enamored of the one wheel. Because I just saw a couple, and actually, I think it's a son and a father that do it. So I'm like, the second I saw it, I'm like, I want to try it. The one wheel. It's again, the word isn't the skateboard, but it is a skateboard, and the wheel's in the center, and then you stand on either side of the platform. I was like, well, gotta get me to campus quickly. I'm down with alternative modes of wheeling it. They got e-bikes around here now. Somebody could rent me a student quality apartment, as long as I got the ability to create some sensory deprivation, walking distance to campus. That is an investment opportunity. And whatever your interest is, I am certain I have an investment vehicle that you will understand is worth investing in. The problem, and again, the perception being that I've failed so spectacularly, I never really even pitched anyone except for Phil. And, you know, there's the conundrum. I so desperately want to help that I start giving things away for free. But the thing is, the murky theoretical area that I have to establish first. And it's murky only just because it's complex. It's deep, murky. So the theoretical aspects are literally all he's doing, all of this cacophony, all of this energy, fossil fuels, is blowing the few remnants of the mowing, the grass trimmings, and a handful of leaves off of the walkways. This is why I can't have a job. Because the second something compromises my health, I'm going to say annoyed, but let's be clear, this is compromising my health. The exhaust of this landscaping machine of mass destruction, global warming wise, carbon monoxide producing wise, various other toxic components of exhaust, again, if I had the ability to be plugged into electricity, maybe I'd proposition the industrial design department. Again, I see me doing lectures. I really do. About various topics. Sort of, again, Socratic monologues into Socratic dialogues. Like, okay, we know we have some conception. But what we don't really get to see is a human having a meltdown. We need to see the actual human consequences of the 5D, of the petrochemical fossil fuels burning. We need to see. I mean, I couldn't have honestly planned this intro video any better. Because you can't plan. The concept, so this is the mower. You notice the two differences in the two engines. That's the actual mower. So he drove the mower to the leaf blower. All that cacophony was the leaf blower. Now he's back on the mower, driving the mower off. He leaves the leaf blower here. I'm saying again on this on the other side of the cut, in the end pergola place, where on this side my dancers show up. Not dancers. There's a couple. Mostly two of them, but there are occasionally a third guy shows up, and they practice dance in the evenings over here. There's some sort of I think it's linoleum, some sort of mat that they can put out on the concrete, because concrete's not level. I'm constantly having to deal with. I'm like, what's up? Some of the tables aren't level. Very heavy tables to move, by the way, over to the electricity. Tables sit out there. Electricity's over here. What can one do? What can one do? So I'm suffering from the effects of global warming. Excess carbon monoxide in our near-in atmosphere causes immense bodily stress. It actually creates a set of autonomic physical triggers, alarms, sensations. Think about thirst and hunger. There is a certain point when you cannot ignore them, and you know the range of those sensations and what you feel driven to do. Explain to me, because how long can you live without food? Quite a number of days. 18 my record so far. I'm about to see. About to be forced. Forced fasting is an entirely different situation. Entirely. You know, how many days can you go without water? How many seconds can you go without air? And the truth of the matter is that those alarms were designed to be even more intense. We must have appropriate levels of carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen in the air we breathe, or our body has sensors that object. When everything in your environment, your body, my body, exceedingly highly sensitive. There's no question that if we, on the IQ scale, my sensitivity to things plus, I think the sensitivity range, I think most humans are sensitive. But my ability to logically assess what is causing my problems. For most people, it is their mind that they think is going bonkers. They start telling stories. You become asphyxiated. That much pollution around that leaf blowing contraption. I can still sense the exhaust. The smell has diffused, but there is a residue in my nasal passages. This is the other aspect of it. That again, most humans have atrophied their sense of smell. Being a dog owner, observing the quality of the sensory smell input that dogs get data from. But smell is my sense. Smell is my RedheadedSheHulk sense. Smell is my trigger. And whether or not other people can directly causally understand that their health problems, their raging mind is due to um, petrochemical sense. These molecules, they're huge. They're engineered, and they cause fritzes. It cause fritzes in your brain. Now that I've made myself aware again of the way the molecules stick in my nose, I can think of, you know what's horrible? That spray can of things of spray. You know, I'm trying not to say the name of the company. You would spray can on wood furniture. I was forced to do that in my childhood. And I'm pretty sure if I had sequential memories, I could trace a number of intense headaches to that situation because I don't know, 5 years or so ago, I was at a friend's house. I like the I mean, we live in IKEA world, right? Who needs spray cans of things for wood furniture? It's all particle board. Like completely. My friend had sprayed that, and we were in the same room, but like even on opposite sides of the room, I was not anywhere even near it, truthfully. And when that burst came out, those molecules were they got lodged not right up front, like back in my palate, like I could taste them. It's so nauseating. As a kid, as any kid, so let's talk human development here. The first year of life is when, as babies, every mammal, every mammal, the definition of mammal in this case being live births, um, away from eggs being wombs. That's the whole chicken and the egg conundrum. Is the easy way to understand evolutionary logic. How poorly we use the concept of evolution throughout all of our thinking. And using the concept of evolution in all of your thinking is literally the foundation of hashtag wellbeing philosophy. Throw in the math of life, throw in the environment is everything. Mental fitness is about being able to directly assess all of the various sensory inputs and figure out which one is causing pain, discomfort, is causing your brain to go in directions you're not in control of. First year of life, all mammals use ingestion to regulate their nervous system, i.e., suckling, i.e., nourishment through a breast, a tit, I guess is probably a better word. Now, wild mammals pretty quickly have to stop suckling and learn to fend for themselves in the world. There's a range of times, but for us, again, when we don't let Western medicine interfere, that's a year to two, best I can tell. I mean, I'm so out of childhood development, I don't know. But breastfeeding, pretty important component of young human lives. Missing from my life, missing from a number of people of my generation's life. Crucial, just whether or not you were breastfed or not could be the single biggest difference between whether you end up with chronic disease in your 50s or not. is not being breastfed sets up an entire cascade of nervous system, sensory, touch. There's just a full realm of lack. Plus the addition of plastic, toxic chemicals. Those baby bottles. I can still. My younger brother was 5 years younger than me, so I have direct memories. What my bottles were like. Who knows? But probably worse, or better. Hard to tell with plastics. But it was like baggies. And then the baggies would be attached to this like plastic wireframe monkey experiment bottle. And it's sippy cups, just for breast milk. That is inhumane. And why we ended up in that situation, needing formula, crucial, life-saving, certain circumstances, we have to have it. But here's the thing. There's no if we only use formula in the necessary cases, who's going to manufacture formula? There's not a big enough market. So hence, the manufacturers of formula went out to doctors' offices, 60s, 70s, just to frame of mind, I don't really know the historical dates of this, and convinced doctors to tell mothers that this was more nutritious so that they could sell it. The manufacturers did that. This is how drugs get pushed. Drug salespeople. And I didn't just watch the movie with the, two cute people in it. I worked for the first biotech. I know people whose job it was to go out and push the drugs. It's a well-intentioned concept to get people well. But as soon as you enmesh it in the framework of capitalism, which is like ever-increasing profits, ever-increasing customers, ever-increasing disorders so that drugs can be used for different... It's a nightmare scenario that's blown up. Mammals, born, use ingestion. Difference for different wild animals pretty quickly, but humans, a year to 2. As you get to be around a year, you stop using ingestion as a human to regulate your nervous system, that you have access to your mother or this wireframe plastic bottle contraption. And you turn to using social cues. This is the development, this is the cooing, this is the starting to babble and have those kind of conversations. Something occurred that I never switched from using ingestion to social cues to regulate my nervous system. That's how I ended up to be 333 pounds. Is to be safe in the world, I needed to eat, and I needed to eat a lot. I needed to eat to process leaf blowers. Riding leaf blowers. So that's 40 minutes. I'll say harmony. Did I finish it all up? Yes. Using ingestion and in the sense of taste and smell are very much my top 2 primary senses. This is not the case of most citizens of the US of Hypocrisy. That's why I'm rare. That's why my sensitivities are so high. And they are so radically different than people who predominantly use sight and then sound. Smell. You probably taste, smell, sound, sight. And I'm not at all shabby at sight. I'm probably more visual acuity than most humans. I am highly sensitive. I really have extraordinarily acute sensory capacities. I notice things at a Sherlockian level, but noticing smells, and Sherlock is not bad at smells, was he? Smell different kinds of tobaccos and plants and yeah. She's Sherlock. She's Socrates. She Einstein. It's all down to the sensory acuteness. Which drives you mad when society tells you you're crazy. When you are simply reporting actual things happening in the world that they themselves have pruned neurons for, have, again, the sense of smell, time and time and time again, when people are not reacting to smells, they're mouth breathers. You don't actually smell if you're pulling oxygen in. I find my mouth breathing really difficult to even do right now. It's asthma. The entire concept of asthma, and maybe again, entire 80% of asthma. This is Butenko breathing. I'm always smushing that guy's name together. The Russian scientist. She's actually met on LinkedIn the woman who is the oxygen advantage. The Irish guy. The oxygen advantage. Read it. BPS. This is my modalities. Breathing, posture, sleep. I can improve every single citizen of the US of Hypocrisy's quality of life by giving them 3 books to read on BPS. Breathing, posture, sleep. Harmony.